Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So the project is progressing fast, and we are in week 4 or 3.
4.
We're at week 4, which means we have only got 3 weeks, including this week, to complete our MVP. This week, we are going to record this session of our planning meeting. We are doing this meeting every week, a planning and then a planning review at the end of the week. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little explanation of what this meeting is about, and then we're going to jump right into it. Who wants to give us a little explanation of this planning meeting? What is a planning meeting, and how are we conducting it? Who wants to do that?
I'll take the lead for that. The basic idea that I had in my mind was that for the past few weeks, we have been working on the basic idea and trying to compile the requirements for it. And we do have a basic image in our heads that what this application is supposed to do and what's it all about. That being said, what I am proposing is that we list down all the requirements that are supposed to be a part of this MVP, even the functional and the non-functional together. Once that is done, we can identify those requirements and compile them into specific modules. Once those requirements are identified by their modules, we can separate them and consider based on their priorities, like which modules would we be needing and which ones we can sacrifice for the time being. Once that is done, we can use the Kanban boards to create a task out of every requirement from the selected modules, and the respected developers from the backend, the front end, the design side, they all can pick their tasks, do them accordingly, and once the integration and the completion of that module is ready, we can have our testing site to test the whole module out for us, give us feedback that we need, and we can, for starters, work from there and see how it goes.
Okay, that sounds good, Danny. So what's the difference between a planning meeting, which we do for a sprint, which is a 2-week interval, and the one which we are doing?
So the difference between the two would be like the sprints are a bit kindly restricted by the agile methodologies, if I'm correct. And what that would do is that we are only focusing for our goals in the next coming weeks. It can be 1 week or 2 weeks, depending. They're not supposed to be very long, and they are targeting very small scales, one thing at a time. Once that is done, then we move on to the next. We're not focusing on the very end. We're focusing on what's in front of us right now. So that's what we do in a sprint. But the idea that I have proposed in this one, the difference is that we do have a basic structure in our heads. We have identified most of the stuff in this application while keeping room for flexibility, that if we have to make changes, we are ready enough to do that without compromising the structure of this application. And with that being said, all the modules, all the requirements, they will be listed throughout, and we won't be making our approaches in specific intervals, like for a sprint in 2 weeks. We won't be doing that, but in fact, we will be doing it by modules, or specific, like modules, basically sub-modules or modules. Once a module is completed, the whole team will move on to focusing on the next one, while the testing team keeps on testing the previous one. Once that is done, the test cases and the backup team will keep on working and fixing the bugs, while the first team keeps on developing the newer stuff for us.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Danny. Thank you. Before we move on to this planning meeting, does anyone else have anything to add to this?
No, sir. I think the proposed idea is perfect.
All right, amazing, good stuff. So let's jump into it. Let's go ahead with this planning meeting, assign the tasks, and identify who is going to do what. Who wants to run this? Shows up, is that you?
sir.
Yes. So if you
So
can share
yes.
your screen and go for your board, just so that we can see how you're doing the assigning of the tasks to people and what
All right.
module are we tackling this week. Let's go through that.
Can you see my screen now?
Not yet, no. All right, we can see that. We can see your screen. Let's jump right into it. Over to you, Shozab.
All
Let's
right.
go through it.
This is our Kanban board, which we have set up in Jira software. So as you can see, there are already many tickets available over here. So whatever someone is doing their task, so we just assign them, like whatever is it, like a task or an epic, we just put down the summary, like as part of the QA. What I'm doing, like if I just go over a bug, I find a bug, I am putting down the summary. We have created our workflows, how the ticket is going to be assigned and how the ticket's lifeline is life cycle is going to be. So first, when we are going to create a task or a ticket, so we have to go over it and put down this stuff like summary, what the issue type is. And at first, its status is going to be refined. Then it's going to go shift its phases once we've completed its test. So for example, like we have created this ticket already. I think it's all right. I can open this. Okay, so first, this is the ticket. Once it's created, it'll look something like this. So at first, what I have done is like I have created this as a task, and I have assigned it to whoever you want, like in the team. So my part as a tester is to test, and whenever I come across a bug, I test it to the assignee in our team. So like I've come across a bug in the front end, I assign it to Denny. Denny takes it. Denny gets the notification. We have our different channels like Slack. And in this Jira, we've integrated Jira's notification into our Slack channel. So whenever I assign a bug, there's no need to, go over WhatsApp and tell your front end team mate to, like I've assigned this bug. It's gonna notify them automatically whenever I assign any bug or a task. So as you can see, this is going to notify over the channel, and everyone who's added is going to get notified. So the person who gets assigned this task is going to go over to this Jira board using this link. They're going to use it. They're going to see that how what the ticket is all about. They're going to assign it. They're going to use it, and they're going to shift its phase. And once they've seen it, it's going to go into the development. It's going to go into the testing. Once it's resolved, the bug is resolved in the development phase, it's going to shift into testing. It's going to come back to me, like the tester. And once I have tested it, I'm going to go over and add a comment, like if it's resolved and not. And if it's not resolved, I'm going to take care of it through its actions, through its workflow. So if it's done, I'll complete it over here. You're going to get, the channel is going to get notified if it's done or not. And then we have our ticket resolved. So that's how we're going to be, what everyone in the team is going to be doing in this project using SkillSyncer, whether it's UI team, whether it's backend team, or it's front-end team, or the tester. They're all going to be collaborating over this Kanban board, and we're going to have effective communication over it. So that's how we're going to work. That's how we designed the structure.
Thank you, Shozab. Thank you. So that's a good explanation there of how we are assigning all these tasks. Can we jump right into the this planning meeting, and what is our plan for this week? What are we tackling, and who is going to do what?
I think, sir, we can do it like first we have our requirements set up. So once the front end team is working on something like the back end team is currently developing some endpoints. So the front end team is also creating the UI flows. So our cycle of the development is going to like UI team creates the workflows, the front end team gets it over the wireframes and over Figma. They list down the basic requirements for the MVP. They create the front end, and then uh, simultaneously backend team is also working over the endpoints. So once they're also doing these things simultaneously, once these flows are finished with each other, the front end and back end gets connected. Once it's done, and I am also like the tester is also integrated and cooperating in this development. We're also carrying out our testing development framework. So once it is done, it gets tested. Once it's connected, so the module which anyone is working on, we'll take care of it. Like the assigned tasks are something to work on, like Sir Bilal. Uh, we have currently we're working on the qualifications module. So for this week, we have decided that we're gonna be finishing up with the task of the qualifications. Tayyab, correct me if I'm wrong. So for this week, we have decided this small milestone. So which is gonna be later carrying the MVP. So this is our we're gonna be working with.
What I want to understand is that on your Jira board or the Kanban board which you have you assigned tasks to the to people this week, and which tasks have been assigned, who is doing what for the rest of the week, and what is the milestone which we are trying to achieve at the end of the week? Do we have that?
Yes, sir. We surely have that. Like we have assigned some the qualifications module endpoint is currently assigned to Tayyib. He's taking care of those endpoints. So and Danny is working over this children module. So once it's connected, the app is currently treating it as dummy data. We don't have it connected with the backend at the moment. So once it's done, once it's connected, we'll be finishing up with this task. So once this is done, we'll have a complete flow of the app ready by the end of this week or the next one. So these are the tasks.
So the qualification module is the one which we are targeting to finish this week. Is there anything else which we are adding to this list, or is it just the qualification module?
So it's the qualification module and the enrollment module for the guardians and for the children. So all of the
qualification and enrollment module, both of them needs to be done this week. And how far are we on that? And what is there any challenges in completion, or are you comfortable that we can complete by the end of the week?
Yes, sir, we are comfortable about that. And the challenges we are facing right now is that, sorry, there are a lot of models that we have to integrate, and some of them are have different. For example, in the qualification model, we have different qualification types. For example, degree, diploma, and courses, and etc. So all of those modules have different schemas, and integrating those schemas within a single endpoint has been a little difficult. But Danny and I have been working on it back and forth and have resolved almost all the issues. And it's just that recently I've deployed a new code on GCP, and Danny is gonna test it after the meeting, and we'll see from there where we're going.
Okay, all right, cool. So backend is good, no challenges, and we are still targeting the qualification and enrollment module by the end of the week. And you have been assigned all the stories on the Kanban board. Shows that you have done the assignment of the stories, which is great. Front end, are you guys comfortable with what you're doing for this week, and what is it?
Yes, sir. We're quite comfortable with the task assigned to us. So the idea for us is to finish up the basic layout and UI for the whole application. That means that we need to work with the wallet module and everything. We have to specify every single screen into it, even if it's not working. Though we do have the dummy data provided to us, and we are working with the qualification module and the enrollment module. By the end of this week, we will have three working modules that are actually connected with the backend and having live data. That would be the authentication, the enrollment, and the qualification. But we will be making use of dummy data on notifications and that wallet module. And we will try to focus next week on making live data work into that wallet and notifications as well then. So hopefully by the end of next week, we would have completed this Guardian app.
Okay. Any
Yeah.
challenges you're having at the moment?
No, sir. Not at all.
Okay. All right. So that's front end sorted. How about the creative team and what are you guys busy with, and what's the target for this week?
Sir, for the UI side, all parts are completed, like the qualification parts are completed, and the enrollment screens are designed and final. So we finalize our design and give it to the front end team as well. So yeah, so we are working on further things, like the future things.
Thank you, Bilal. So looking at what you have got on your plate for this week, and the challenges, I would say if you did come across some challenges, please communicate with each other and help each other through those challenges. And obviously, let's not confine it to these targets only. And if we have achieved these, we can add on and take some other stuff from the Kanban board. Our planning now is not a sprint planning where we have a set amount of stuff and we're reviewing the sprint at the end. We have a Kanban board where there's loads of tasks and stories and issues are pending, and you guys can pick it up as soon as you're finished with your current tasks. Any dependencies, any reliance on the other side, if it is a front end to back end or if it is a back end to front end, please have a communication and as much communication as is possible to resolve the issues in time. Anyone who is stuck on anything, don't be stuck for long. As soon as you feel like you have exhausted all the avenues, shout out to your senior and they will be able to support you with the and progress you from that challenge. So deficiencies are reduced and we can deliver our product on time. Right. Any questions from anyone?
No, sir.
All right. Good stuff. Thank you very much for joining this session. This was our planning meeting for this week. Again, to repeat, we are at the week 3, which means we have this week and 2 more weeks to complete our MVP. We're looking good at the moment, so let's carry on. And any challenges it throws us, then we'll talk about that along the way. For now, I can let you all go. Thank you very much.